Hi, welcome back to Brooksy's Bass Corner and my Essential Bass Album series, looking back at albums that in my view are essential listening for any bass player. It might be an album that sold millions of copies worldwide and thrust the bassist onto megastardom, or it might be an album that didn't sell particularly well, but cut a niche for a particular bassist to propel the band or artist onto greater things. Or it just might be a great album in terms of the bass performance. Either way, I think these albums deserve your attention, and perhaps by watching this video you might be intrigued to check out the album for yourself, and who knows, maybe it will excite you as much as it excited me when I first discovered it. Sadly, due to copyright restrictions, I can't use audio examples from the album, but where suitable I will indicate particular songs and their timestamp that I'm referring to. If you enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so that you receive notifications when I post up new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any comments regarding the album or the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. On with this episode's album. It's David Bowie's The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Ziggy Stardust is widely considered to be the album that thrust David Bowie into the public's consciousness. It broke him in America and heralded the arrival of a new artistic force globally. Released in June 1972, the album reached number 5 in the UK and a lowly number 75 in the US, although it reached a new peak of 21 following Bowie's death, but has sold in excess of 7.5 million copies. And its standing as one of the most important and acclaimed albums of all time is assured, even more so since Bowie's passing in January 2016. With his band The Spiders from Mars, Bowie was ready to take on the world by the time the album was released. Despite being considered something of a concept album with a story, the album was recorded 7 months earlier, before such ideas were even suggested, and many of the tracks were recorded shortly after Hunky Dory was finished. Bassist Trevor Bolder could be seen with the usual Rickenbacker and Fender in vogue basses of the time, but for this album and Aladdin Sane, it's understood that he made the most of his Gibson EB3 bass, either plugged direct or using Marshall or Ampeg amplification. Judging from the sound of the bass lines, flat wound strings were certainly the order of the day, most likely courtesy of Rotor Sound here in the UK. Opener 5 Years features a picked bass line that sits perfectly amongst the drums and piano of the verses, not bottom heavy, but with a low mid presence that fits the instrumentation of the track. Although the track never actually breaks away from its mid-tempo rhythm, the bass performance underpins the simplicity of the song, sitting perfectly with Woodmansey's bass drum. Soul Love features a constantly moving bass part, and even when playing in the upper register, Bolder's bass tone is always full, consistent and smooth. The track is another of the songs recorded in November 1971, preceding Hunky Dory's release, and due to the material on that album, Bowie and the band decided that Ziggy Stardust required material that could be toured effectively, and tour it they did over the following 18 months to promote this album and Aladdin Sane through 170 performances. Moonage Daydream was written by Bowie in early 1971 and released as a single in May 71 by the band Arnold Corns, a Bowie spin-off project. It did nothing until it was revisited for this album. Both Woodmansey and Bolder cite the track as their favourite on the album, as did producer Ken Scott and many of Bowie's fans. Bolder's signature ascending and descending grace notes to shift between each root note in the verses and his descending bass line in unison with Bowie's descending backing vocal in the chorus create a memorable earworm. The ever-moving bass line underpinning Ronson's enigmatic solo from 3 minutes 14 illustrates this perfectly. Requiring a lead single, Starman was the last song written for the album, and despite a slow rise up the charts once it was performed on Top of the Pops in July 72, the song took off, propelling it and the album up the charts and impacting on the youth of the time. Now everyone knew who David Bowie and his Ziggy creation were. Lady Stardust is believed to be about fellow glam rock heavyweight Mark Bolan of T-Rex, based on the original working title of the demo, and features a fine performance on piano by Mick Ronson, a man of many talents and the perfect foil for Bowie at this time in his career. Star combines several different feels, rhythms and tempos, while Hang On To Yourself has an almost punky feel, certainly from the bass performance. Ziggy Stardust needs no introduction, one of Bowie's signature compositions, resplendent with a fine bass performance from Trevor Bolder, played with a pick, slid notes and constantly moving, with some tasteful mimicry in the upper register for good measure. Suffragette City wasn't initially a single from the album, although it was the B-side to Starman, but it was issued in 1976 to promote the Changes One Bowie compilation. It's too easy to wax lyrical about David Bowie and his musical output, despite some of his misfires. However, Ziggy Stardust is a golden nugget amongst his releases, and Trevor Bolder's performance shows the work of a highly influential bassist. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so that you receive notifications when I post up new videos, and please give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments regarding the album or the video, leave them below and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. Look forward to seeing you here again on Brooksy's Bass Corner.